Have you ever seen a media empire so massive, so dominant, so seemingly invincible completely bungle a movie harder than Dopey, trying to pull off a triple backflip? Because that's exactly what Disney has managed to do yet again. Their brand new live-action reimagining of Snow White was already drowning in PR nightmares, casting controversies, and fan backlash promising full-on boycotts. But just when it seemed like things couldn't possibly spiral further, they did. From horrendous early reactions to CGI that looks like it was animated using a microwave, and box office numbers so dismal they make the dwarf's tiny cottage seem overcrowded. This whole fiasco has left everyone questioning whether this could be one of Disney's most catastrophic failures in recent memory. So let's break down the chaos in full detail. Disney has built a reputation on going all in, extravagant premieres, celebrity-packed red carpets, screaming superfans, and glittery photo ops that dominate headlines. That's their usual playbook. But this time with Snow White, not even close. They went full stealth mode, like they were hoping to quietly push it out the back door while nobody was paying attention. The premiere was so underwhelming, it felt more like a forgotten office birthday party than a major studio launch. This muted rollout was probably a strategy to avoid stoking fresh controversy, especially since this film has been embroiled in drama for nearly 2 years. No major press junkets, no cast interviews, just a few carefully selected influencers posting oddly glowing tweets like, "Rachel Zegler is radiant and a visual masterpiece." Honestly, are you critiquing Snow White or describing a screensaver? Because most of us aren't buying what you're selling. This all appeared to be a deliberate move by Disney, an attempt to hold together a sinking ship using duct tape, made of cherry-picked compliments. But then things got worse. Rachel Zegler publicly called the original 1937 animated film outdated, effectively alienating generations of fans who cherished the classic. Now, to be fair, yes, the cartoon was created over 85 years ago and does reflect the gender norms of its era. But Zegler didn't stop there. She also made pointed political remarks, even telling specific groups of voters not to bother watching the film. That's never a smart play when you're promoting a movie meant to appeal to families across the political spectrum. It's no wonder Disney seemed determined to keep her far away from any reporter who might ask unscripted, difficult questions. And then, out of nowhere, the small handful of attendees who were actually invited to the premiere jumped online to proclaim the film as some kind of misunderstood masterpiece. They labeled it fresh, charming, and praised Zegler's acting chops like it was Oscar-worthy. This wave of sudden positivity didn't sit well with the public. It clashed directly with the months-long avalanche of criticism, leading many to believe that Disney had curated its invite list with one mission: manipulate the narrative and steer it from total train wreck to hidden gem. But the charade didn't last long. Once the official review embargo was lifted, the truth came crashing in. See, when a studio has genuine confidence in a film, they allow reviews to drop early to build buzz. Disney, they waited until the absolute last minute, never a good sign. And as soon as real critics weighed in, the ratings plunged faster than a cryptocurrency after a disastrous tweet. The movie landed at about 45% from reputable outlets. Critics didn't hold back, throwing around words like emotionless, awkward, uninspired, and a colossal waste of resources. Even the more generous reviews read like backhanded compliments. At least it wasn't excruciating to sit through. Not exactly the dream feedback for a reimagining of one of Disney's most beloved stories, to be fair. The score has ticked up slightly to around 47%, but that's still shockingly low for a Disney release. And that dip can likely be traced back to the creative liberties taken with the story. The original was titled Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a title deeply embedded in pop culture. Yet in this modern reimagining, they asked, what if we just didn't include the dwarfs? They replaced them with a randomly diverse group of average height people who looked like they wandered off the set of a soda commercial. Fans were understandably livid. Disney tried to patch things up with some awkward CGI overlay spoiler. It didn't help. And while diversity in storytelling is absolutely valuable, scrapping an entire group central to the original tale doesn't feel inclusive. It feels directionless. Even members of the dwarfism community voiced their disapproval, pointing out that it erased roles that could have gone to actors with dwarfism. One individual put it plainly, "You're taking away opportunities from people who deserve representation." So now it's Snow White and ... four dwarfs? And now we get to the film's headline grabbers, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, better known as Disney's walking PR headaches. Zegler's continued assertions that the 1937 version was outdated, and her promise that her Snow White would be more modern and empowering rubbed many the wrong way. Add to that her not-so-subtle political commentary, and she alienated even more viewers. Then there's Gal Gadot, whose own political opinions stirred major backlash online. Put these two on a press tour together, and you've basically got Disney's PR team working overtime, praying no one opens their mouth unsupervised. Critics noted that all this drama ended up hijacking the spotlight from the film itself. Viewers weren't even talking about the movie, they were obsessing over everything around it. Things got so tense, Disney allegedly scaled back Zegler's interview appearances altogether. You know it's bad when the lead actress becomes a liability just by doing press. People online labeled her as narcissistic, and whether that's fair or not, it was clear that her media presence wasn't helping the cause. Had the movie been truly fantastic, maybe people could have looked past the drama. But to make matters worse, theaters were empty, shockingly empty. Social media users began sharing screenshots of seat maps from major theater chains. We're talking opening weekend, primetime showings in major cities, and barely any seats sold. In some cases, not a single ticket had been purchased. That's nearly unheard of for a Disney family feature. Just compare this to The Little Mermaid, which weathered its own share of controversy but still managed to pull off a successful launch. This, on the other hand, feels like a slow-motion box office disaster. And if Disney can't even fill seats for a remake of Snow White, that's not just a problem. It's a full-blown crisis. So here's what I'll do. If this video hits 4,000 likes in the next 48 hours, I'll bite the bullet and go see the movie myself so you don't have to. Because honestly, the online reaction alone has been brutal. People are roasting the fake-sounding promo tweets, the bargain bin CGI, the ghost town theaters, and of course, Rachel Zegler's viral interview slip-ups. One TikTok even summed it up perfectly. Snow White lost the dwarf, the storyline, the magic, and the fans all at once. Lifelong fans of the original are disheartened. Casual viewers aren't convinced. Even the die-hard Disney defenders are looking around nervously, saying, yeah, this one's not it. And while Disney as a company will almost certainly recover, they've still got Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and a treasure trove of revenue-generating properties. Snow White feels like a potential turning point. Audiences are growing tired of endless remakes, especially when those remakes discard everything people originally loved. If this movie ends up crashing at the box office, it's more than just a flop, it's a red flag. A wake-up call that audiences are desperate for original stories again, or at the very least, respectful reimaginings that don't bulldoze the heart of the classic. So yeah, Snow White went from possible redemption story to confirmed catastrophe. We're talking poor CGI, awkwardly staged promotions, silent theaters, and a lead actress who had to be muzzled to protect the brand. It's the kind of public relations disaster that makes you wonder if the evil queen was secretly in charge of this entire production. But hey, let me know in the comments below. Are you still planning to check it out, or are you skipping this one faster than a poisoned apple at Sunday brunch? Until next time, protect your childhood classics. Think twice before recasting legends, and maybe, just maybe, stop turning treasured tailies into headline fodder. Peace.